Hello, in this video, we were talking about what is an Amazon data MCP and why does this matter to the Amazon seller. We just got some exciting news breaking through for the development of an Amazon MCP. And basically, it gives you insight about your specifically Amazon account using natural language in any language. It doesn't have to be English. It's like giving the AI LLM like ChatGPT or Claude the browsing capability to go to your Seller Central and it can gather information and give you specific insights. Or it's like having a team of analysts and consultants at your fingertips about your Amazon account at a fraction of the cost. Hello, my name is Nan Din, and this is James Stuxbury.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. And we've sold over $80 million on Amazon since 2012. If you like this video, click like and subscribe to the channel for more news and announcements for Amazon sellers. LLMs have been around for a few years since ChatGPT came out, and Claude, they originally were only able to give insights into historical events. Like when ChatGPT came out, it was only able to talk about events that was prior to 2022, right? Because that's the data it was trained on. You could not get the latest data. But then later on, they added the capability of it to browse the web. So now it can browse the web and get us the latest news and process that information and present it to you. Well, that was a capability that was added to ChatGPT. That basically that web browser was like an MCP. The MCP connects a set of data to the AI. And now it's like if you ask about your Amazon account, the ChatGPT can only give you general answers. Like if you ask which ASIN is eating my budget, it can only give you a general answer. It cannot give you specific this particular ASIN in my account. Well, now with the MCP, basically it connects to your Amazon account to the AI. And so the AI can go into your particular Amazon account, look up your data, and give you insights about that. For example, the way it works is like the ChatGPT LLM, we're using Claude, connects to the MCP server, then MCP server gets your Amazon data and then gives you insights. So the question is, why does this matter to an Amazon seller? Well, AI capability is doubling every 6 months. And that if it continues doubling every 6 months, in the next 5 years, it will be 1,000 times smarter than it is now. And so the capability of it to generate insights into your Amazon account, and not only that, but become an employee on your team would be an incredible capability. It's like you hire somebody like in Colombia for a quarter of the cost, and they can speak Spanish to the AI and it will understand it. And so that's the power of using the large language models. Is you can use any language, query the data, pull it back in any language. So if you're not using AI, you're going to be left behind against your competitors who do use AI. So I want to talk about how we accomplish this. So basically with the data we have, we pull your Amazon data from SP API and add API, and then we clean it up and we store it in a MySQL server. And that allows you to query the data, and we call that data hub. You can query the data into any data source that can create MySQL query. Then what the MCP server does is it creates a connection to the MySQL database from the LLMs, right? And as far as we know, we're one of the first ones to be able to do this for Amazon customers, to Amazon accounts. So for now, it's only limited to data that's available through the SP API and the Add API. So not everything in your Seller Central is going to be available, but it's a lot of data that's available for you to get insights. And so the past few months, our developers have been working hard. Thank you, James, and other developers for working hard. And at first, we weren't sure it was possible with this technology to create the MCP server because it's so new and we weren't sure. We had to write the custom code to do it. And one of the hardest thing was to go from this, from the Claude, how do we give it username and password to connect to the MCP server without exposing that for the world? So we had to figure all that pieces out. But we think we have figured it out, and we were able to get the Claude AI to connect to our Amazon MySQL database. And so James is going to take over and demonstrate for you what we have been able to do with these capabilities. Go ahead, James, take over.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take the wheel here. And I wanted to go ahead and show some quick examples here of some of the things that Nan was just referring to. So the first example here is I have the ChatGPT desktop app pulled up here, and I asked the just kind of vague general question here of in my Amazon account, which Jason is eating my ad budget the most, and ChatGPT correctly states here it doesn't have access to my Amazon data, and so it gives me some pretty general advice as to what to do next. In trying to answer this question. Over here, I have the same question here pulled up, uh, asked through Claude. And we can see here that we have the Cyber Labs MCP server connected here. We will have a separate video explaining how that connection setup works. But you can see here I asked that same question of which ASIN is eating ad budget the most. And you can see that Cloud Logic's through a few steps here. You can see here it made a mistake with its query, it corrects it. And then if you want to drill down into what Claude is thinking, you can actually open up and look at the individual. You can see the query it ran. You can see exactly what its thought process was. But after coming back, we can see here that for this particular account that I'm connected to, it gave some very specific suggestions. It highlighted some very specific ASINs and gave me some totals and some numbers to look at. So you can see that this is, considerably more detailed and actually leveraging the seller's account underlying data to answer this question.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I have a couple more examples here that I wanted to go through real quick.
Yeah.
The first
So
of which, go ahead.
I think next is the graphing capabilities that
Uh,
the Claude has.
yes, let's do that through here. I have a query pulled up. Okay. So, oops, sorry. Here we go. Okay. So the visualization. Okay. So you can see here, I asked Claude to graph sales in the last 30 days. I actually added a slash there at the end by mistake. You can see Claude runs a few queries, gets some data. Here we're running getting the data for the last 30 days. And then once it pulls that data back, it has graphed it here. So you can see for this particular account, the seasonality is trending down, so this makes sense. But you can see this is populated from the seller account data. This is done live through Claude. None of this was pre-prepared, and Claude just graphs the data here for us, and
I,
we can explore it visually in a matter
yeah,
of seconds.
that's awesome. I love how it's an interactive graph and not just an image, where
Hmm.
you can hover over and see the individual days if you wanted to. That's pretty powerful.
Yes. So yeah, so you can see here, this is all built into Claude, and we're just leveraging that. So that's awesome to see here live. And like I said, this is it just populated this. We didn't give any insight or any instructions on the graph. We just asked for the data to be visualized.
Yep.
Okay.
What's our next demonstration you got?
Yeah, moving forward, I have a couple other quick things to highlight here. This was the question that I thought was interesting to look at. I asked for what my ACOS was by product line. And I kind of like this answer because Claude looked into the underlying data. It found that we had a product grouping, which is not what I was after. I was after product line, meaning by brand. basically. But after digging into the data, we can see that Claude decided that that all products currently appear to be uncategorized because I actually wasn't interested in this product grouping. But Claude on its own, after finding that it existed, then realized that nothing was actually in that group. Uh, it determined that that's not what I actually wanted, and that's without any input. That's just it in its own investigation of my question. It decided that, and then once it
Notice
realized
the
there was
notice the number of queries. Basically, it's prodding and it's researching into different accounts, different tables in the database to get the data it wants. So every time it's running those queries, it's pulling back data to see what fits the question you asked or not, right?
right. So we can see here, like I said, it decided that those categories were not what was correct. Let me check if there's another way, perhaps by brand, which is what I actually did want. And then you can see here at the end of the question, it was able to group it by brand. You can see a bunch of brand names here and the different sales metrics and stuff, the different KPIs for those brands. So yeah, this is a question that I wanted to showcase just because Claude started down one path, realized on its own without any human input that it was going down the wrong path, and then corrected itself and actually ended up answering the question that I originally wanted. And that was all in one step and on its own without any guidance, which is very cool to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's like a new capabilities from the AI that I did not think that would be possible a few years ago. And these are new capabilities it's coming up with over time. And who knows what other capabilities it will get smarter over time.
So yeah, so that was a very encouraging answer to see here. And then I wanted to go ahead and highlight one more thing, which Non alluded to a little bit earlier, which is that you can interact with Claude through any language. So you can see here, I asked a question. This question here happens to be in Spanish. I asked what day had the worst sales, and then much like we saw in the previous question, we can see that Claude is going through and running queries to gather data. So we can see here, it started with the select query here, but you can also see that it is answering me in the language that I asked the question, which is very cool to see. And yeah, so here it's running through, it's gathering some information, and then it arrives at the conclusion here that your day with the worst sales is October 16th, which happens to be the date that we're recording this. Which is not what I wanted. So I went ahead and asked for it to not count today. And then you can see that it ran another query. I wanted to highlight here that it didn't go through and rerun all the gathering information queries. It used that context that it already had to go ahead and write the query and not include the day that I asked it to not include, which was today. And then it said, okay, actually the worst day that it could find was turned out to actually be yesterday, sales wise. So that makes sense. So yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and highlight here that, like Nav mentioned earlier, you can interact with this in other languages, and Claude has no issue with responding back in those languages and letting you access your data in whatever your language of choice is.
Yeah, so language barrier is much less of an impediment when using this. Like if you want to hire somebody in China where they speak Chinese and they can answer it, or somebody in Germany or Poland for Polish, or somebody like basically language is no longer a barrier for using the AI LLM, and so we're leveraging that and being able to pull your Amazon data into any language you want. So that's super powerful, especially if you want to build a team that's worldwide base to reduce costs or whatever other reasons. That's a superpower that is amazing. So where do we go from here, James?
So yeah, from here, if you want to learn more, we have a website here available, which I can pull up.
Let me share my
Let
screen here.
me go ahead. Okay, go
So
ahead.
the website is sellerlabs.com/Amazon-MCP. You go there and we will have more information on how to sign up and so to learn more about it, and we'll news update, we'll put it on there as well. But we want to create this video to to introduce you to what an MCP server is and what its capabilities are, and to demonstrate that we have a live MCP server that is working, that connects to your Amazon data. So go and try it out, give us feedback. We love to hear from you and how we can improve it. And over time, we're going to add more insights into the MCP server so that it can understand the Amazon context better based on your feedback. So thank you and have a great day. All right, see you next time.